The trading card game space is going through somewhat of another renaissance, and if you're looking to jump in to this new hobby, or you're just looking for a new game to try out for yourself, I've got a bunch of great games that you should check out. Starting with number one, but wait, before I tell you, I have to start by saying, look, I can't fit every game into this video. If there's a game that I miss or that you think is better for a new player or someone that's just starting in the hobby, leave a comment down below. I just went through and picked games that I've either played, that I've enjoyed, or that I think fit the theme that we're going to talk about with each of these games as we go. So hey, if your game isn't on here, just leave a comment down below, tell me how I'm wrong, that's totally fine. Anyway, back to what we were saying. Game number one is Magic the Gathering. Look, I'll be completely honest with you, and I know some people aren't going to like this pick, but if you are a new player to the trading card game industry, if you've never played a trading card game before and you need to figure out how games function, Magic the Gathering just teaches you how to play trading card games. There's a reason there's an entire genre of trading card games called Magic Butts. It's a terrible name for a trading card game genre. I don't recommend it. But there's a reason it exists, because this is such a foundational experience. The mechanics, the way it was designed, it's all built from the ground up back in the day to really establish what trading card games do, and so many other games will go and take little bits and pieces from Magic the Gathering and put it into their own games. So even if you don't enjoy the game, and I'll be honest, I'm not super crazy about Magic the Gathering, I just appreciate what it brought to the trading card game industry, you can get a lot out of learning how to play Magic. You can learn so many other game systems just by understanding how Magic plays. And of course, there's a lot to like about Magic the Gathering. It's got a huge community. There's a ton of different ways to enjoy playing the game. It is a very player-focused experience, and you can really interface in the way that you choose to do so. So if you don't like this pick, I understand, but Magic the Gathering is a fantastic game to pick up and figure out how to play if you're looking to jump into trading cards. But let's say that you're interested in joining the trading card game hobby alongside of a family member, a significant other, a child. If you want to bring your child into the trading card game space with you, there are some great options. Now, you might think I would say Pokemon, especially after picking Magic the Gathering for the first game on this list, but no, I'm going to change it up, and instead, you should check out Disney's Lorcana. Here's the thing, I've played Pokemon, my kids like Pokemon. Pokemon is such a great draw, but is it a great game? It's okay. It's a fine game to play. Disney's Lorcana is, in my opinion, a great game. I thoroughly enjoy the way this game plays. It has a lot of the aspects of gameplay that I personally find fulfilling. You don't run into many of the issues that you would in something like a Magic the Gathering or even a Pokemon, where the game doesn't feel like you did anything and you just lost, right? I won't go too far into it. If you're new to trading card games, it's not a great experience, but you'll find it out there in a bunch of games. This doesn't have that. This has got a similar system to Magic the Gathering, and so if you start with Magic and you go, what else can I try? Here's a system that functions in a similar way. It's dudes on a board. Okay, that's what you're doing, but you're doing it with a huge emphasis on theming, a theme and an aesthetic that you probably have some connection with already, and so there's a bit of that vibe, that nostalgia factor that something like a Pokemon brings to the table, but you're getting it here with old Disney cartoons and movies. And then the gameplay is interactive, it's back and forth, it's really fun, and the game is over fairly quickly, so you can start another one right after it. It's great for kids. I taught my two oldest boys how to play when they were like 7 and 4 respectively. They picked it up very quickly, and we can still bring a couple of decks to the table and jam out some games. So again, if you're looking to get your family together and get into the trading card game hobby, this is a good one for you. But let's say you're looking at these systems, the way that these games play, and you're like, I don't really like that. I want something a little bit different. I want something a little bit more unique. that still kind of gives me a bit of the nostalgia factor, some connection points that I have from my childhood, and it has some more elevated themes. Well, there's a couple of great options for you, and here's one of them. You should check out the Gundam trading card game. This is a new one, and that is actually a benefit. Jumping in when a trading card game is brand new and ready to hit the table and run off and be huge and successful, this is a great time to do so. And it's a game that has some more through lines with playing out these characters on the board and doing things with them, but it functions in a slightly different way. Bandai Namco produces this game, and it is a system that they have been working on and iterating on through a bunch of different card games that they've put out. I think this, in my opinion, is the best iteration of that. You could go and you could play One Piece and you could have a very similar experience. One Piece, very popular, one of the most popular games and versions of this system, but I would rather sit down and play Gundam over One Piece. That's me personally. As I mentioned, the game is brand new. It's really just coming out right now. You can jump in on the ground floor level. You can start building your collection. You can engage with people. I think it's going to be a really popular one, and it's a lot of fun to play. And just like I mentioned with Disney's Lorcana, this one has a system built in where, again, you don't feel as though you've run into an issue where you just drew bad cards and lost the game without actually doing anything. That is a more archaic mechanic that a lot of older games sometimes tout as like a feature and not a bug, but let's be honest, it is old and it is well trodden, and that doesn't feel good, and it doesn't make for good gameplay. And there's a system in place with this game where you don't really feel that, alongside of, really Bandai and their resource system in general. Either way, it's a great one, and like I said, you can always go One Piece if you don't like Gundam. But let's say to you that feels too samey and you want to try something that's way different and really see what the trading card game industry has to offer as far as variety is concerned. I have two games for you, and they're both relatively new, one of them very new, and both very cool. First one is Star Wars Unlimited. Look, Star Wars Unlimited is a hot new game. It is undeniably very connected with the IP to the overall community. There's a lot of people that love Star Wars, and this game has a lot to love. I'll be completely honest with you, I was not sure how this game was actually going to turn out and how long and how committed this game was going to be supported from the developers. And well, it turns out it has been very supported thus far. It has done very well for itself, and it looks like it's here to stay. Now, of course, you can take that with a grain of salt because it is definitely a Star Wars game, and those do have a tendency to, pop up, do very well, and then maybe fizzle out, but this one's got legs. The way that this game plays is so wonderful, especially if you're someone that really enjoyed Star Wars Destiny, which was a card game / dice rolling game. It was a game I was very into for a number of years, and this has some of the mechanics from that game put into it, while also just taking away the dice completely and letting you play this experience just straight cards. Makes it easier, more streamlined, plays quicker, but it's still got the back and forth gameplay that I really enjoyed from Star Wars Destiny. It's a great time, and it is very, very popular and well supported as well. Another very nostalgic IP alongside of that, and a clear and focused, pointed direction from the developers means that this could be a game that you see for a long time going on the shelves. But if you're not a Star Wars fan, the other option that I have within this category of off the beaten path systems, something new and fresh with a variety you've never really seen before, it's Riftbound, and holy crap is this game popping off. Look, I knew this game was going to be pretty popular. I think there was a large contingent of trading card game players that played the trading card game Legends of Runeterra. That was really sad to see it go, and to see how this could maybe be a spiritual successor to that game. And while it doesn't play the same at all, the fan base and the wider appeal has been nothing short of ravenous. It is pretty cool to watch a game come onto the scene this strong. I don't know if there has been a game that's come onto the scene this strong since Lorcana a couple years ago, One Piece a couple years ago. And this is one of the examples of why I say that trading card games are really in a renaissance of their own. There are so many options of just great games that are being well produced and well supported and giving you the opportunity to play them with others at the local game store level, and then of course level up your game and go from there. This is hitting on, in my opinion, the very more casual side of things. This has a lot of flexibility of how you play it. You can play it with 2 players, but you can play it with larger groups as well. It has some reminiscence of some board games to it. Feels a little bit like Smash Up in certain aspects. If you know that game, fantastic game in its own right. This has a lot of those similar feelings. And the fact that it's a trading card game means you're going to get these constant expansions. You're going to be able to see these new mechanics enter the fray, and there's going to be a lot of ways to enjoy this. It feels like the spiritual successor to Magic the Gathering's Commander format in a way, while mixing its own unique ideas. I really do think this card game is going to do very, very well, and I think it's one you should definitely check out. Even if you're an entrenched card game player, definitely check this one out. Okay, but let's say you've looked at all these and you thought, I don't know, none of these really hit that niche that I'm feeling. They all feel a little nostalgia baity. They're all connected to their own IPs, except for maybe like Magic the Gathering. Every other one of them is leaning heavily on that IP, and maybe even Magic at this point is kind of leaning on every other IP in existence. And you want something that really scratches your competitive itch. You want something that's unique and its own thing, and something that has proven time and time again that it is here to stay. You know I'm talking about Flesh and Blood. Look, here's the thing. This game is a true testament to what trading card games can be, and it is a competitively focused trading card game with a fantastic community. Look, here's the thing about Flesh and Blood. It really rang in the TCG Renaissance. This was the card game that boomed TCGs again. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to call my shot. Tell me if I'm wrong in a comment below. I will gladly have a conversation with you. But looking at 2019, this was the game that put them back on the map, in my opinion. I was playing card games already. I was already making YouTube videos. This was the game that proved that any game could come out, and if it was quality, well supported, and had a plan and a roadmap for the future, well thought out, thinking about collectors, thinking about gameplay, all of it. If you did that, you would be successful. This game proved it, and it did it from a competitively focused mindset. It has set the bar and raised it consistently again and again. And the best part is, it's not doing it off of, like this crutch of an IP pulling people in. It's doing it because it's a damn good game. The best gameplay I have ever experienced across any card game ever, period, end of story. It is addictive on every sense. You feel like the hero that you are embodying, that you're playing. You feel like that hero when you play it. You are committing cards from your hand. You're watching them disappear, preventing damage to your face, and then you're throwing damage back at your opponent. It fits every fantasy niche, every itch that you could possibly want to scratch. It fits every competitive, chess-minded niche that direction. There's a lot of thinking that you can do, but you could also just sit down and sling cards at your friend. And the best part is, it encourages you to play in the Flesh and Blood with other people. Is it a hard game? Yes, I would say it's the hardest game on this list. But is it the most rewarding? I would also say yes. So if you're looking for a game that does a little bit of it all and does it with its own unique flair, Flesh and Blood's your game. So there you go. There are options for you if you're just getting into the trading card game space, or if you're looking for a new game to try out. If I missed your game, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I apologize in advance. I know there's going to be people talking about a ton of different games that I could have mentioned. Where's Yu-Gi-Oh? Where's Pokemon? Where's Digimon? Japanese game as well. Anyway, if I missed one, leave a comment down below. Maybe you could share why that game is great for new players as well in the comments. And if you're a new player, go down there, check it out. see what they say. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more, make the number go to the other number. And as always, thanks for watching.